Keir Starmer's Madeira meltdown. The Labour leader is under fire after an explosive incident during his family holiday. Reports claim Starmer and his children bypassed a massive 3-hour queue for a popular toboggan ride, leaving angry British tourists shouting, booing and fuming in disbelief. What really happened? Why did Madeiran police step in? And is this the latest example of privilege gone too far? Stick around as we unravel every scandalous detail, because this story isn't sliding away quietly.
Let's have a look at this in the Times, Andy, because the Prime Minister's on holiday, as we know. There was a toboggan ride on his holiday island,
yes,
with a 3-hour queue, to which he was escorted to the front with his children.
He was. So Keir Starmer was on holiday in Madeira, and firstly, you know, whatever you think of him, the man deserves a break. He hasn't had a holiday since he became PM, so I'm glad he's getting away and taking some time out. But yeah, as we can see here, he arrived at this toboggan ride and the local police escorted his kids to the front of the queue for security reasons, which is completely understandable. He's the Prime Minister, but, you know, it's just not a good look, is it? And it does rather play into that feeling that he's a bit aloof and, above the people.
It's like Phil and Holly all over again.
Oh, queue jumping.
Keir Starmer's holiday to the idyllic Portuguese island of Madeira should have been a time for relaxation and family bonding. Instead, it has turned into the latest political storm to engulf the Labour leader. On what seemed to be an ordinary day at the popular Monty Toboggan ride, a must-visit attraction for tourists, the serene atmosphere of the site was shattered by the arrival of Starmer's security convoy. Hundreds of tourists had been queuing patiently, some for as long as 3 hours, eager to experience the famous basket-style sled ride down the island's steep, picturesque streets. Among them was Russell Shachter, a retired East Londoner who had been waiting in the heat with his wife since 10 a.m. "We were all in good spirits, chatting and enjoying the day despite the long wait," Shachter explained. But that all changed when the line suddenly stopped moving. At approximately 1 p.m, the Starmer family arrived in 2 vehicles, one carrying the Labour leader and another for his security team. Eyewitnesses describe a dramatic scene as the queue was halted and staff began preparing a sled for Starmer's 2 children, aged 13 and 16. This, however, was no ordinary family outing. As the children were escorted to the front of the line, murmurs of discontent rippled through the crowd. Then, those murmurs turned to audible frustration. "People started booing, shouting and waving their hands," Shachter recalled. "A woman next to me yelled, 'Who does he think he is? Get to the back of the queue.'" Video footage captured by tourists shows Starmer standing by, smiling and seemingly unbothered by the commotion as his children were loaded onto the toboggan. The ride itself, a historic tradition unique to Madeira, lasts only a few minutes. But the disruption it caused extended much longer. Once Starmer's children completed their descent, the convoy reunited at the bottom of the ride, causing yet another delay for the hundreds of tourists still waiting. This was the tipping point for many. Shachter explained, "We'd already waited for hours, and now we were held up again. It felt like our time didn't matter, like we were less important." Tourists turned to social media to vent their frustration. One viral post read, "Keir Starmer might want to lead the country, but he can't even wait in line like the rest of us." Another user mocked the incident, writing, "His sled went down faster than his approval ratings." The fallout quickly spread beyond Madeira, reaching UK news outlets. GB News presenter Stephen Dixon weighed in, likening the situation to the infamous Phil and Holly queue jumping scandal during the Queen's lying in state. "It's just not a good look," Dixon remarked. "This kind of thing sticks in people's minds because it feeds the perception that he's aloof, out of touch, and above the people." As the backlash grew, GB News uncovered a critical piece of the puzzle. The decision to prioritise Starmer's children was reportedly made by Madeiran police. A spokesperson for the local authorities explained that the high-profile nature of Starmer's visit necessitated certain security measures. "We must prioritise the safety of prominent individuals, especially in crowded public spaces," the spokesperson said. While some defended the police's actions as necessary for security, many Britons were unconvinced. Critics argued that Starmer could have chosen a less disruptive way to enjoy the attraction. If security was such a concern, why not arrange a private visit after hours? One commentator questioned. Others saw the incident as part of a troubling pattern of political privilege. This is not the first time Starmer's image has been criticised for being aloof or detached. His political opponents have often seized on moments like these to portray him as out of touch with ordinary Britons. For Labour, the timing couldn't have been worse. With the party pushing a controversial VAT policy on private school fees, critics have accused Starmer of targeting middle-class families while living by a different set of rules. Even some of Starmer's supporters found the incident hard to defend. One Labour voter tweeted, "I like Keir, but this was an unforced error. He should have known better." Another added, "If you want to lead the country, you have to show that you understand ordinary people's frustrations, and standing in line is part of that." The Madeira controversy has also drawn comparisons to previous incidents involving British politicians on holiday, from David Cameron's ill-fated Cornwall photo ops to Boris Johnson's disastrous Caribbean getaway during a national crisis. The British public has long scrutinised the behaviour of its leaders during their time off. For Starmer, the fallout from this episode may linger far beyond the winter break. Social media continues to buzz with debate over the incident. While some users sympathise with the need for heightened security, others see the queue jumping as emblematic of a wider problem in politics. As one viral post put it, "The issue isn't just about skipping a line, it's about trust. If he cuts corners on holiday, what's to say he won't do the same in office?" GB News sources suggest Starmer's team is now in damage control mode, though the Labour leader has yet to issue a formal statement. Insiders speculate that his advisers are weighing whether to address the incident directly or let it fade from public memory. Meanwhile, Shakhtar, the eyewitness who first brought attention to the incident, is unimpressed with the explanations offered so far. Whether it was him or the police, it's the principle that matters. We were all waiting in the same line. Being a politician shouldn't exempt you from basic decency. This scandal is more than just a minor holiday hiccup. It's a microcosm of the challenges Starmer faces as he positions himself as a man of the people. Whether this queue-jumping controversy will stick with voters remains to be seen, but one thing is certain, this holiday story is far from over. If you want the latest updates on Keir Starmer's Madeira queue-jumping scandal and all the explosive stories shaking up UK politics, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning of the fallout.